Friday's a lot. Everything's good. There's a great video of the parade that I'll send you from High Five Media. It's really nice. Maya Hayom Shabbat Shalom Maya Hayom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Maya Hayom Shabbat Shalom Maya Hayom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to our services as the rest continue to come upstairs and tear themselves away from the cake and the fruit and everything else. Is there someone who'd like to light candles for us this evening to begin our service? The cantor sings, all you do is light. Okay, please.
Come, everyone.
May the Shabbat candles we now light inspire us to see justly and gently, to look honestly and with kindness, and to see what's holy in each other. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you. So we turn in our prayer books now to page 4 at the bottom of the page. Hine ma tov, how good and pleasant it is for us to be together.
And it is so wonderful, Shabbat Shalom, that we are all here together. And I'm feeling extra grateful to be here in community with the musicians in Eagle County who rallied together just a few minutes ago. I have a guitar. I'm playing Matty G's guitar, who ended a gig at 6 o'clock and is starting a gig at 7 o'clock. And I have his guitar for the 1 hour in between, as we figured out about 20 minutes ago, because I had a slight guitar emergency right before Shabbat tonight. And so go ahead and tell someone who you're sitting nearby, someone that you're really grateful for being in community with this Shabbat. Go ahead and tell someone, talk to someone, say Shabbat Shalom. Talk about someone who you're feeling grateful to be in community with tonight. Hine ma tov u'manayim shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה לה, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה לה, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
And this is quite the weekend we have planned for you. When we look at the calendar, October, November, we throw one thing down. We think this could be an easy summer, but except we have tonight, and then tomorrow morning we drive out to the ranch to say farewell to the Israeli soldiers. And then all of a sudden they said, well, you can't do a dedication of the wall at the hospital during the week because there's all these patients walking around. How about Sunday? And I thought, sure, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you get on a plane and you're going to a music conference, educators conference.
Yes, an educators.
Otherwise, nothing going on. It's fine. And that's why we think about all of you as family. And we'll continue with our family prayer, the bottom of page 8. May we never take for granted the gift of Shabbat as we sit nestled in the Rocky Mountains, sharing this humble moment with family and friends. May the satisfaction of celebrating Shabbat hearten our spirits. Let Shabbat peace bring quiet to our souls. Allow this time set aside for song and prayer to bring us closer together in thoughts and deeds. Let this space we share become our place of devotion, glowing with reverence and filled with our traditions. May the end of this week encourage us to examine our actions. Let us look ahead toward the new week, be worthy of all of God's blessings. The top of page 8 is we welcome the angels of peace and join together Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We also welcome all of those who are out viewing us online as well. And if you happen to be one of those really hot spots in the United States today, think about next year and come here and join us, where it's kind of chilly outside in the evening, and you can come and join us. Well, we lift our eyes to the mountains. From where does our help come? Page 12 at the top of the page, Esa Enai.
Esa Enai el Harim, Me'ayin Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Esa Enai el Harim, Me'ayin Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Ezri Me'im Adonai, Oseh Shamayim Va'aretz. Ezri Me'im Adonai, Oseh Shamayim Va'aretz. Esa Enai el Harim, Me'ayin Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Esa Enai el Harim, Me'ayin Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Ezri Me'im Adonai, עושה שמיים וארץ, עזרי מעם אדוני, עושה שמיים וארץ.
And as we turn back to the 16th century, to the town of Sfat in the north of Israel, that was the center of Jewish mysticism, where they wrote Lecha Dodi, and we welcome the Sabbath bride, page 16.
Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Shamor v'zachor v'ribor echad, Hishmianu el ha-meyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. L'shem motif beret v'litchila, la 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 la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha, ki hi mekor ha-meracha, mirosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machsheva tchila, la 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 la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, kumitzi mitoch ha'afaycha, Rav lach shevet be'emech halacha, vehu yachmol alaychem, la 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 la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela.
Bottom of page 18, we rise, face the rear of the sanctuary as we greet the Sabbath bride.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzahala, toch emunah am segula, boi chala, la 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 la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikavela.
May be seated. In Psalm 92, we're told that it was first entitled a psalm for the Sabbath day. It was recited in the temple in Jerusalem. Tradition says that this was a song of praise and thanksgiving when the offerings were made to the Kohanim. We continue responsively at the top of page 21. It is good to give thanks to you, O Lord, to praise your name through song, to speak in the morning of your loving kindness and your faithfulness each night, music of the lute and the harp, melody of the lyre, and I'll sing with my delight. Continue to the bottom of page 20. We join together.
Tzadika tamar yifrach ke'eres bavanon yizkeh shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Onye nuvun beseva deshenim vera'ananim yehiu lehagid ki ashar Adonai Tsuri lelam latabo.
Going back to 1921 to the Boston Globe, our wonderful reading just for today. We'll have Michelle and Robert. Maybe you'll read this for us. Thank you.
Just for today, I will live one day only, forgetting yesterday and tomorrow, and not trying to solve the whole problem of life at once.
Just for today, I'll be unafraid of life and death, unafraid to enjoy the beautiful and be happy. People are as happy as they make up their minds to be.
Just for today, I will adjust myself to what is, and not try to adjust everything to suit me. If I cannot have what I like, I will try to like what I have.
Just for today, I'll be agreeable, cheerful, charitable. Do my best, praise people for what they can do, not criticize them for what they cannot do, and if I find fault, I'll forgive it and forget it. I'll try not to improve nor regulate anybody except myself.
Just for today, I will have a plan. I may not follow it exactly, but I will have one. It will save me from worry, hurry, and indecision.
Just for today, I'll get people off my nerves and not get on theirs. I appreciate them for what they do and what they are.
Just for today, I will not show if my feelings are hurt.
Just for today, I'll find a little time for quiet, to relax, realize what life is and can be. Time to think about God and get a better perspective of myself.
Just for today, I will look at life with fresh eyes and discover the wonder of it. I will know that as I give to the world, so the world will give to me.
Thank you. Thank you. So we turn to page 24 in our prayer books and rise. We'll continue with our call to worship and join together in the Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Le'olam Va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
You may be seated. We used to do the other one that we teach the Bar Mitzvah. Could we ever teach this to our B'nai Mitzvah kids?
Which one?
The Baruch Hu that you just did.
Yeah, of course.
That's become like the norm now, which is nice.
We have done that a lot lately. I don't know why that's been the one on my mind.
I enjoy it. We're going to turn in our prayer books to page 28 and think about what's so wonderful and beautiful outside. We're going to see that tomorrow at the ranch and when you go hiking. God's Wondrous Creations, page 28. As we join together on this Shabbat Eve, we take in the greatness of God's creations. As the snow melts on the mountain peaks on high, let our worries of the week flow away. And as the mountain springs give forth fresh water, let our souls feel refreshed. As creeks join streams and become the great rivers, let our faith and love grow stronger. And as we stand in awe of the great beauty of the Rocky Mountains, let our faith in God increase and renew, and let this Shabbat be a time of peace. The top of page 28, you have loved your people Israel with unceasing love. The top of the page, we join together.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha avta, Amcha avta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu lemadeta, otanu lemadeta. Alakeinu Adonai Eloheinu b'shokvenu, uvkumenu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla, ve'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
And we have some volunteers for the Shema.
All right, come on up, girls. The
As we
look of
turn to page
surprise.
30, we do it every week.
Come on,
Turn to page 30 in our prayer books.
Ziva. We are. She's making her way. Shema.
Yisrael,
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchut Tov, Le'olam Va'ed.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'aderech, uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha, ug'shartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'visharecha, leman tizkeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem lelohim, ani Adonai Elohechem.
And as the waters closed upon the pursuing Egyptians, the children of Israel were now free to sing joyfully, Micha Mocha, page 32.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha netar b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh feleh, nora tehilot oseh feleh. Malchutecha uvanecha, mokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai, yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai, ya lai la lai lai, yai lai ya la lai, yai la lai lai, ya lai 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 lai.
Well, on this Shabbat evening, we seek peace and comfort. We ask that you shield us from hatred and destruction that plague so many corners of our world and console those in need. So may God provide peace and comfort under the refuge of his wings. The top of page 34, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim.
Taken from the book of Exodus, in 6 days the Lord created the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he ceased from his work and rested. We have a choice of
So many
Hash,
choices.
for Vishamru. We want to be peppy or we want to be
Are we feeling
mellow.
peppy or somber tonight for Vishamru?
you want
Somber, a
It's
somber. Vishamru.
okay, a little mellow. Page 36.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam, berit olam, beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam. Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai et hashamayim ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת ויהי נפש שבת שבת ויהי נפש שבת שבת ויהי נפש.
It was a few years ago that I had the opportunity to travel to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. And there was a conference amongst clergy and doctors to see, does prayer make a difference? Does it help before they go into surgery or when people come out of surgery? And this is Mayo Clinic said absolutely, that it does make a difference, that it does something to the brain and the body and calms them down for surgery. And it's fairly incredible what happens. And we think about that with our own congregation, where you need to tell me if you're going in. It doesn't matter if it's something simple. Simple is nothing simple if you're seeing a doctor. So let me know, and we always like to come by, and we're going to make that difference. Misha Baruch, the top of page 38, as we join together.
Misha Baruch Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
We offer blessings for full healing to Gail Balin, Sue Beiser, Carol Ann Finn, Jane Friedman, Betty Ann Gaynor, Deborah Goldman, and Lori Hellman, Mike Herman, Karen Ellen Hirschberg, Raea Ivry, Donald Jaffe, and Harriet Jaffe, Warren Janowitz, Mary Sue Katz, and Herman Keek, Renee Myers, Stephen Reese, Chip Ruth, Roberta Scheller, Lynn Eileen Schiller, Sam Schwartz, Bernie Shavitz, Bill Silvers, B. Sklarowitz, Dina Stempler, Maury Strauss, Alan Tenenbaum, and Mickey Winokur.
Misha Baruch Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Turn to page 40 in our prayer books and rise as we continue with the Reader's Kaddish. Amen. V'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayedecho Beit Yisrael Bagala bagala uv'izman kariv. Amen. Yesh me'raba mevarach le'alam u'lamei homaya Yitbarach
Yitbarach v'yishtabach, Yitpa'ar v'yitruma v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Shemei Kudsha
Brechu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata.
Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran bialma.
Ve'imeru.
Amen. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. The top of page 42 as we continue, and then silently through page 57.
Adonai. Ananana svatai tiftach. Ananana ofi yagid. Ofi yagid tehilatecha. Ananana Adonai. Ananana svatai tiftach. Ananana ofi yagid. Ofi yagid tehilatecha. Ananana Adonai. Ananana svatai tiftach. Ananana ofi yagid. Ofi yagid tehilatecha. Ananana Adonai. Adonai svatai tiftach. Ananana ofi yagid. Ofi yagid tehilatecha.
As we continue with our prayer for peace, page 56 at the bottom of the page, Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
What a mellow service we have tonight. This is wonderful. It's great. I love it. Before we had banjos and drums and all kinds of stuff. This is just nice and calm. It's okay. It's all right. Well, there's a midrash, which is a story that the rabbis tell just a little bit outside of the biblical text. It's a classic story. It's told of the individual who's drilling a hole under his seat in a boat. The passengers begin to reprimand him, and he says, "What business is it of yours? I'm drilling under my own seat." Now, we've learned through the years of experience that we're all in the same boat, that there's a famous quote from Pirkei Avot. It was a compilation of ethical teachings. It's found in the Talmud, written about 200 CE. And the great sage Hillel once said, "Al tifrosh min hatzibur." He said, "Don't separate yourself from the community." So his words remind us that there's so much strength found in being part of a community and connecting with others, and it's good for both the individual and certainly for the community as well. It's not a bad thing to, I think, every so often we ask ourselves the question, where can I look to find motivation and courage to act in new ways that are possibly going to increase the meaning, direction, and spirit that we can find inside our lives? So I wonder, have you ever had the experience, you were new in town or maybe you're on vacation and you wanted to attend services on Shabbat. So you wander into a synagogue, you're not knowing anyone inside the synagogue, and you'll choose to sit a little bit further towards the back. No one comes up to talk to you. You listen to the announcements just to hear maybe there's some upcoming event that's a little bit interesting, but you hear nothing. And you walk around after services at the Kiddush thinking, well, maybe someone's going to come up to me and welcome me into this whole community. Someone would notice you, but, well, they're stuck with their usual friends. And you leave without finding that Jewish community that you were looking for, new ways that would possibly increase the meaning, direction, and even spirit in your life. And you think, Al tifrosh min hatzibur. Don't separate yourself from the community. Well, I remember the last time I was in Israel, a friend had shared a story with me, and I think it defines beautifully the meaning behind what it means to be part of a Jewish community. He said a while ago, it was a hot day, and he said, I was sitting in the sun on a park bench. Well, I was lost in my own thoughts. Then suddenly this elderly lady comes up and taps me on the shoulder, kind of startling me. Before my surprise was launched from my lips, the elderly, strange woman, whom I had never seen before, said, "Young man, put a hat on so you won't get sunburned." Only in Israel. It's not going to happen if you're sitting on a bench in Paris or London. It's because we look upon each other as family. It's because we've always cared about each other as family. It was the Jewish people who established what? A whole network for the aged, hospitals, Hebrew loan societies. If we're to seek out that spiritual component found in our lives, if we want to be part of a community of people that loves and supports each other, we have to remember, Al tifrosh min hatzipur. Don't separate yourself from the community. The community, our community, is the foundation of Judaism. So being part of a community means that we begin to learn, as the cantor has taught us, new melodies and new rituals. Being part of a community means we want to meet new people, certainly from different backgrounds. And being part of a community means that we want to expand our comfort zone. So if you're the one who says, well, I'm not really that good at reading Hebrew, why should I go? Or I don't remember all those Torah stories that was part of Hebrew school years ago. Or sometimes I'm not even sure when I'm supposed to stand up or sit down or bow. Well, everyone feels that way about something, and it's the community that's going to help grow within you. Well, Avraham Joshua Heschel, great philosopher and one of my teachers, one of the leading Jewish philosophers really of the 20th century, well, he applied that famous quote about comforting the afflicted and afflicting the comfortable to Judaism by asserting what the prophets are tasked to do with leading Jews in this way. We have to comfort those who are in need of comfort by asserting what the prophets are tasked to do. But at the same time, we always try to expand our comfort zone to say, how can we have a little more Judaism within our lives that maybe we never had before? Al tifrosh min hatzibur, don't separate yourself from the community, but instead we need to all challenge ourselves. And you'll find waiting for you, I know here, a loving community. Amen. And for some more announcements, which you could not possibly go through the whole list, but we'll still introduce the president of the congregation, Stephen Wellens.
Rabbi, I like a surprise or two. I do want to take one moment and just mention something. New Yorkers like to tell you it's the greatest city in the world, the greatest state in the world. Everything's better there. I personally think pizza is the best thing in the world. I love pizza. It's the greatest comfort food. But I never knew till this morning that it's a miracle food also. Had it not been for the taste of New York pizza, those several families on Long Island in Suffolk County where my wife grew up and was born might never have had closure to those horrific murders 12 years ago. A box of pizza with leftover pizza led to the arrest of somebody they've been looking for 12 years. There's probably more crimes involved, more murders that might get solved, and more families might finally be able to heal. This is a weekend of healing. I think it was important to recognize the importance of the work of 12 years of those police departments, investigators. They never gave up looking for this guy, and it was that New York pizza that solved the thing. So as we go home and give thanks to our police department who solved these crimes for these families and they get some closure. With that said, July 19th, we've got another Vail Interfaith Chapel security training and focus. Phil will be here. Some of you have met Phil before. We'll be in How to Survive, an intruder. We're also going to have a session with Janet on defibrillators, a tourniquet and Narcan instruction. We'll be downstairs on the 19th, 10 a.m. If you have not registered, please register. Please come. It's open to we have plenty of spots, I believe. Yes. Tomorrow we'll be out at the Molina Ranch, a special service with 16 of our heroes from Israel, the IDF soldiers. I met several of them. One of them had a little mishap on a motorcycle, but he's in good spirits. We had lunch with him the other day. I said, do you really needed to come all the way to Vail to check out our orthopedics? We are the best in the world at that. There's a hike Thursday, July 20th. It was supposed to be at Shrine Pass, I believe, but that's closed. So we're going to do it at Beaver Creek, up Beaver Lake. It's a moderate to advanced hike. So bring some water, bring some suntan lotion. We're going to meet at the Beaver Creek Chapel at 8:15 a.m. on the 20th. Jews of the Wild West. We've got the movie. We've got the Riverwalk Theater reserved. Please sign up. It'll be on the website next week to sign up. We've got about 150 spots. We're going to have the producer of the documentary, The Jews of the Wild West, August 7th. So you have some time, but it'll be up there. We're also going to have, I think, one or two people, potentially at least one, who was interviewed in the film. We'll talk about Leadville and Jews of Leadville. Bill Cornyn is...
Everything about Jewish history in Colorado and was in the movie will be there.
We've got the wall dedication, the prayer wall dedication at the hospital on Sunday morning. So if you contributed to that, you're invited for a reception in the morning. It's going to be a wonderful ceremony and a great gift. And we should all be so proud of what we're going to give this community. And it's already being well used. We've got a lot going on. July 26th for your kids, grandkids, Bearcat Stables. We've got an event. Please sign up if you want to bring your kids, your grandkids, go horseback riding. We've got some music, a barbecue. It'll be in the morning. It's all on the website or in this thing. So please take a look, and we have a lot going on. Shabbat Shalom.
Next week, our Shabbat service is Stand Up to Jewish Hate, which we're picking up on what Robert Kraft had done with the little blue square, and we sent that out to all of you. It's an important Shabbos, I think, because we're able to say that this is an opportunity to come together as a community and to say that it's enough. So our service will be dedicated for that, and then the next week is my favorite, which is the blessing of the animals and all the dogs and snakes, and everybody brings everything with them. And that's when we sing, what's the one?
Oh, yeah. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got.
And if you want to hear more of that one, you just need to come back. It's a great... Oh, I know. It's a good it's a fun service. And then, of course, tomorrow is last year we had 50 people, and they said, no, just bring more. So now we have 100 people who are coming out to the ranch. And what a tribute that is to the Israeli soldiers that have come here for healing. And we'll be joining with them for that as well. And so much more. The 3 speakers, I'm not going to highlight them, but look at how we partner with Vail Symposium. And these are amazing opportunities. When they opened the one, it sold out for 200. They moved it to another school. It sold out for 400. And now we got to go to Red Rocks or something. I don't know where we would go. But all of these are really, really interesting speakers. So take a look at those and see how we've partnered with Vail Symposium. And tell me where you're going this weekend.
Seth and I are both headed to New Cage, the new revitalized Conference for American Jewish Educators. Seth teaches in our school as well, and I run most of our educational programming for families. And so we are headed out to New Jersey to go attend this conference, which is finally in person for the first time since 2019. So I'm very excited about that too.
It was the first innovation into seeing a different way of looking at Judaism, the Central Agency for Jewish Education with Rabbi Zwerin at Temple Sinai.
And it's really incredible. A lot of the Jewish conferences that take place are put on by a specific denomination. And this one's really inclusive of Jews of all different kinds of backgrounds.
That's
and it's
great.
a really incredible opportunity to get to learn from people that we don't always get to keep company with.
And it's nice when they say,
Lovely.
do you think you can do that in your shul? And I said, yeah, of course, we can do anything. And so we bring back a lot of great ideas.
Yeah.
Let's return to our prayer books on page 60. We'll rise for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon HaKol, Lateit gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'kor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'aretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo, Ushemo echad.
At this moment, in memory of our loved ones who are no longer with us, we join hands in love and remembrance. A link has been broken in the chain that bound us together, yet strong bonds of home and love hold us one to another. In solemn testimony to that unbroken faith which links the generations one to another, we call to mind those whose yahrzeit we observe this month. Fred Allen, Joan Barr, Gerda Berendt, Janet Brown, Harry S. Bush, Joe Corbin, Thomas Daniel, Abraham Ellis, Mark Ettinger, Pearl Azursky, Seymour Fetter, Alan Friedman, Faye Furmansky, James Gaynor, Arthur Glickman, Harry Goldstein, Miriam Graubert, Bernard Greisman, Joseph Guss, Barbara Gutzman, Chaja Haling, Jerome Heffer, Kenneth Hertz, Arnold Hodis, Stephen Riedhoff, Eric Joss, Stuart Camber, Jerome Clowen, Selma Cohn, Norman Lantzman, George Lerner, Robert Lutweiler, Betty Levin, Samuel H. Marcus, Estelle A. Marks, Herman Moore, Joellen Multack, Sue Nachman, Jeremy Narenberg, Gertrude Palikow, Harry Pass, Ruth Plotnick, Sam Port, Mary Port, S. Jerome Port, Pedro Prince, Edna Corton, Regina Resnick, Regina Scherf, Neil Scher, Myrna Sigmund, Ellen Rhoda Solomon, Jay Sosland, Betty Spitzmiller, Jacqueline Steinberg, Benjamin Stemple, Evelyn Trout, Ann Tudanger, David Waldman, Mary Weinstein, Morris Wetcher, Walter Wolf, Jody Rubel, and Yurden Yashik. And if anyone else is observing Yartzeit, yeah. Thank you. The Mourner's Kaddish can be found in our prayer books on page 64, and those who wish may join with us as we say, Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabba, b'almad yivrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agalav izman karev imramein. Yehesh me rabba mevarach leolam omeomaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. Yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran v'yalma v'imramein. Yehesh lama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imramein. Oseh shalom v'imramav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imramein. May be seated. We do also have, for the first time ever, a service at our cemetery, which takes place on the 1st of Elul, which is 1 month before the High Holy Days. We'll have more information going out to the cemetery, saying prayers that are appropriate for the High Holidays. We'll conclude our service a cappella. What was it? Just like repossessed or something?
Yes, it's been repossessed.
It
It is now at the Sun and Alp playing in the King's Club.
We should have paid for the guitar and it would still be here. Okay. Adon Olam, page 66.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa V'chefsa Kol Azai Melech Shemoni Kra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh B'tifarahu Echad Ve'en Sheni Lehamshilo Leachbira Bli Reshit Bli Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'hamisra Ve'hu Eli Ve'chai Goali Ve'tzor Chavli Be'et Sarah Ve'hu Nisi Umanos Li Menat Kosi Ve'yom Ekra Be'yado Avkid Ruchi Ve'et Dishan Ve'ayira Ve'im Ruchi Geviati Adonai Li Ve'lo Yira.
And we'll rise for a closing blessing. Adonai oz li'amo yitain, Adonai varech et amo v'shalom. May the Lord grant strength unto his people. Bless all peoples with peace.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Borei
borei
pari
pari hagafen chaim. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
Shabbat shalom.